Hello, good day everyone. This is Philip and welcome to my channel, Psychology and Social Issues. By the way, this is my first video for this channel. I have an old channel, but I decided to change another one to really focus more on this topic, psychology and social issue. Okay, and for our first video, please stay tuned because we'll be talking about the introduction to psychology. Before we talk about different topics in psychology and other social issues, we need to understand what is psychology for all of us to have a common understanding about psychology and to debunk myths about psychology. And this is also for those individuals who are not students and practitioners of psychology, or for those individuals who are just simply interested about human behavior. Okay, so I'm going to share to you now my slides so that we can start. And by the way, before we start, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that everyone also will understand and know about psychology and how psychology understands different social issues. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to share my slide. So again, our topic for this video is the introduction to psychology. Now, what is your understanding about psychology? So before I will discuss, please do comment in the comment section below. What is your initial understanding about psychology? This is very important so that for us to know what is your understanding. Again, your initial understanding. I'm not talking if you're a student of psychology or practitioner of psychology. I'm not looking for the exact definition or the verbatim definition of psychology, but I'm looking for you write in the comment section the first thing that would come into your mind when we talk about psychology. Okay, so again, you write down in the comment section so that we get to understand your own perspective or perspectives about psychology. So let's start. What is psychology? So psychology came from two words, the psyche and the logos. Psyche, which means soul, and logos, which means correct thinking. So that is why it is called psychology. So psychology, a little overview, psychology is simply a branch of philosophy. So psychology started with philosophy. Of course, for those who do not know about philosophy, they focus more on the understanding of origin of things. They started the study in that aspect, in that focus, and then suddenly they reach to the point where they are talking about human person, and then eventually they talk about soul. And unfortunately, in philosophy, soul has been proven only through reasoning. Soul has been the only evidence for us to conclude that soul is real is through the life of a human person. And in psychology, for us to study soul, we need to study the person. How are we going to study the person? So again, the soul is the manifestation, or the life of a person is the manifestation that soul is present. Organs will function because there is what we call life in a human person. And in psychology, again, from the word psyche and logos, correct thinking, correct study about soul, We cannot study soul because we need evidence aside from life. And the only evidence for us to understand human person is through the different organs that the human person is manifesting. And one of that organs is the human brain, because the human brain functions or commands the human person. Now, how are we going to study psychology? Can we open the brain of or the head of the person and study the brain? Of course, we cannot do that because it's a violation of ethics. So, what we can do is that we will study the behavior and the mental process of the human person, because your mental process is expressed through your behavior. Again, your mental process or processes is expressed or are expressed through your behavior. Okay? So mental process is the function of your brain. So for psychology, there's no need for us to open the head of a person and study the brain, because what we are looking for is how the brain functions, and in order to do that, we will observe or study how the brain functions through the behavior. Okay, are you still following? So you comment below if you understand. Now, the easiest way to understand psychology, the definition of psychology, is the scientific study of behavior and mental process. So again, let's check these terms one by one. The scientific study of behavior and mental processes. So when we talk about scientific, science, when we talk about science, scientific, science, it is something to do with systematic procedure, order. Okay, so when you talk about scientific method, it's the orderly, systematic procedures that researchers follow as they identify a research problem, design a study to investigate the problem, collect and analyze data, draw conclusions, and communicate their findings. Okay, so again, aside from understanding the behavior and mental processes, we should do it in a scientific manner. Because if you just simply rely on behavior and mental processes and remove the scientific study, the term or the phrase scientific study, basically everyone can do psychology. And that's what we call common sense psychology. Common sense psychology is not a real psychology because there's no scientific method. There's no application of scientific method. So for us to really practice a real psychology, we need to follow scientific method. And that's what I have mentioned. Research problem, designing a study, investigate the problem, collect data and analyze, and then draw conclusions and then communicate your findings. So basically, if we're going to look at it, psychology by nature is a research subject. For example, if I have a problem, usually if people will know you are practicing psychology, people approach you and ask you something. You're enrolling psychology. You're practicing psychology. Can you explain this kind of behavior? Okay? For those students, I think you've experienced that one. For those practitioners, I think you've experienced also that one. You comment in the comment section below if you've experienced that. And basically, as psychology practitioners, you cannot immediately give specific explanation of the behavior being described to you. So what you can do So the person approach you is presenting a problem to you, a research problem, a question, like what is this behavior all about? Okay. So as a psychology practitioners, you don't immediately give a guess or a common sense explanation. But of course, you have to design a study and then investigate, collect data, and then analyze. And then you come up with conclusions. So basically, you can tell the person, I cannot give immediately or immediate answer to you. But what we can do in the field of psychology, we do these things, a scientific method for us to really have a clear understanding of or answer to the problem you are asking. Okay, so again, this is what makes real psychology apart from common sense psychology. Okay, so and for this video, we'll just stop here and then we'll proceed to in our next video, we'll proceed to the different steps of how to conduct a scientific method. Okay, if you have questions, if you have comments, or if you have any ideas, so please comment down in the comment section so that be able to talk about it. Okay, and then again, please do like and share this video so that everyone will know, and then please do subscribe. So thank you very much and stay tuned.